Hello, welcome to EL267, American Literature 1915 to the Present. I'm Dennis Jers. I've been at Seton Hill University since 2003. I teach courses in journalism and new media, freshman writing and literature. This is the first time that I've taught American Literature 2 as an online course, though I've taught it several other times and I've taught other online classes. But this is the first time that I've taught this as an online class. So some parts of this are going to be new to me. Some parts will be very familiar. And I hope that the combination of familiarity and challenge will be rewarding to you as I trust it will be to me. This website is the command center for the course. We'll use other tools, but this is the place where you will need to go in order to find the outline of what's due when, and here the syllabus have all the course policies. Here's my contact information, for instance. Here's the course learning objectives, and that is all important stuff to orient you to the course. And I'm not going to spend time in this video lecture going through all that information that I would like for you to read on your own. Now, first of all, though, I want to call your attention to this post on online learning. I love teaching online classes. I like the flexibility that comes with online classes. But one of the risks that go along with an online class is if I don't structure my time, if I don't block out time in my calendar for dealing with this particular course, then because it's an online class, the preparation time for this, it's kind of the first thing that goes out the window because otherwise, all my other obligations where I have to be in a particular room at a certain time, it's harder for me to push those aside. So I just have to make sure that I treat this just like all my other classes with time spent preparing it and keeping that time, protecting that time just like I would protect my time for any other activity where I meet face-to-face. I don't consider an online version of a course to be easier to teach than an in-person version of a course. Similarly, I wouldn't expect this class to be easier to take than an in-person course. Now, we don't have to meet at any particular time during the week, so that's a really good thing. However, the course, I've laid it out so that we'll have regular due dates on Mondays and Thursdays, just as a way to pace ourselves. This course is not a series of separate standalone modules that you can take whenever you feel like. There will be regular deadlines during the semester so that we're all reading the same things and we'll be talking about the same texts and developing at roughly the same stages of development of the major writing projects and activities. So although the course does not meet face-to-face, the course does not meet synchronously online, there are deadlines to keep us on track and working together. This is the daily archives for Thursday, January 23rd. If I click here on the home page, you'll see I scroll down and we'll see this short list of upcoming activities. So this home page will update. The content on this page will change as time goes by. And if you ever want to find something, a week from now, you won't find this introduction here on this page anymore. You'd have to go to this calendar page, click on the calendar page, and you'll get the daily archive for that day. You can click ahead and see what's coming on the 27th. You can focus back on just the 23rd. So I think it's pretty simple how that works. But if you're new to this environment, if you're not used to thinking of navigating on a blog to find your way through a course, this course outline page has everything just sort of stretched out in chronological order, and that's a good place to go to as well. Anyway, so if you have a question about an assignment at any time, let's say if you want to know, okay, well, on this online page, now wait a minute, this page looked kind of short If I go back here, it was kind of short. Click here, it says read more, and there's actually a lot more to that page. So just make sure that if you're getting a sense of what's due for a particular day, if you see the read more, make sure that you click on that because there's more to that particular page. All right, back to this online learning. I'm going to let you read this on your own. If you have a question or a comment, you're welcome to post a comment here, or you can email me. You can contact me through any of the ways here on the syllabus, basic course information. Here are all the ways you can contact me. Feel free to contact me any of those ways. Okay, my assumption about this course is that you're a competent college writer. Although the official course description does not mention any prerequisites in EL267, I'm assuming that you already have had at least one freshman writing class. And now, if that's not the case, don't panic. There is an early assignment that's designed to give us a heads up, to give us both a heads up, if maybe there's some extra writing help that you might need to do. And I'm happy to provide that help, but I'm just letting you know what I'm assuming unless I hear otherwise. Okay, I'm also assuming that you already know how to read a work of literature, summarizing the plot and main themes and the characters and the settings, and analyzing the tone and the imagery, and that you can express your personal reaction to a story or a poem that you've read, that you can make some connection between what you're reading and your own life, and maybe make some connection between the biography of the author and the characters in the story, or the biography of the author and your own life experiences. I'm assuming that you can do all those things because those are the things that your high school English teacher asked you to do and praised you for doing. So if you could do those things well, you did well in your high school English classes. And since you're here taking a college class, I assume that you passed high school, and that includes that you passed those English skills that are appropriate to a high school student. Now, those high school English classes gave you a good solid grounding that prepares you to study literature at the college level. Now, this means that what I'm asking you to do in this course builds upon the ability to summarize plot and analyze character and setting, and to have emotional responses to the literature and talk about the author's biography and differences between life back in the day and your own life. Those were all things that you were asked to do in high school. In a college literature class, you will need to understand the plot and the characters and the setting and your own emotional reactions. You'll need to do all those things. However, I have not designed any assignments that will give you credit simply for being able to summarize the plot, analyze a character, describe the setting, talk about your own emotional reactions. You will need to do all those things, but the assignments I'm asking you to do won't give you points for those things. In a similar way that the assignments that I ask you to do won't give you points for memorizing the alphabet or recognizing the letter R. Those are just fundamental skills that are part of language. So this post down here on close reading, this post tells you what I do want you to do, explains in more detail the differences between what counted as good work in a high school English class and what counts as good work in a college English class. It's not an easy concept. I don't expect everybody to get it right away, but it's important enough that even before I'm introducing you to any works of literature, I want to introduce you to how I'm going to evaluate your responses to literature. And so I encourage you to take a look at this. And there's also a video that walks you through this process as well of close reading. And please note that the term is not closed reading, it is close reading. That's a common mishearing. People think there is a D in close reading. Okay, so how exactly do I want you to respond to literature? Well, in your high school English class, you probably spent a lot of time in the classroom talking about what you read. We, of course, can't do that physically because this is an online class, and so instead we'll be doing it mostly through blogs. Seton Hill has an installation of WordPress, and we've actually had a university blog installation here since 2003, and it's still running. So that's quite a bit of history of blogging at Seton Hill. The blogs were here before Twitter, before Facebook, and they serve uh, what I think is a very important function in providing a public forum for you and your peers to connect with each other so that you can express your thoughts about the readings that are on the syllabus. This activity, this orientation activity number 1, tools walkthrough, watch this video and that will show you how to set up a blog at Seton Hill, a WordPress blog at Seton Hill, and there's some things that I would like you to do down there. If you've never blogged before, just understand blogging is simply writing. You're writing in a bunch of boxes and pushing a button. If you can send an email, you can send a blog. There's no coding involved. You are certainly welcome to personalize and tweak your blog if you desire to, but you're welcome also just to keep the out of the box standard settings and just go ahead and treat your blog as a place to write, because that's really what it is. Another tool we'll be using is Turnitin.com, and here's the course number and the password. And a third tool we'll be using is called Canvas. Watch your email for an invitation from me, and just respond to that. I will let everybody know when I've sent those invitations out. They might get caught in your spam folder, but once I've set those invitations out, I will contact everybody through Griffin Gate bulk mail and let you know about that. But so those are 3 important tools that we'll be using this semester. Now, this tools workshop provides the technical details for where we'll be submitting the work. This book, Foster's book, How to Read Literature Like a Professor, that's the book that shows you what you're supposed to write. And I really feel that this book is a great resource, and my students often say they enjoy it very much. For now, just identify a specific passage that you think is surprising in this work, and this tools walkthrough up here will tell you exactly how I want you to respond. But anytime you see an item on the blog with this word respond here, that's telling you I want you to use your blog to present a brief response to the outside world. And as the semester progresses, very quickly, I'll tell you in more detail what kinds of response that we're going to be looking for in this particular class. But for now, all you need to do is identify a specific passage you think is surprising, and we'll move on from there. Okay. The first work of literature that I'm asking you to look at is Bernice Bobs Her Hair. It's a short story. You can find the full text right here. And remember, I'm not asking you to summarize the plot, describe the characters. These are some common things that you might have gotten praise in high school for doing these sorts of things very well. But I'm not asking you to do that. What I'm asking you to do is covered in this close reading activity, and Foster's book also will help expand that. So I'm going to let you look at those resources, the video on close reading and also the Foster's introduction, because I think those 2 things cover pretty well what I'm looking for. Okay. And we'll see. This activity is orientation activity number 2, peer introductions. This is in Canvas. At the moment that I'm recording this video, the Canvas is not, I don't have Canvas populated with all your student identification, so this activity is not open, but it should be open within a day or 2. Another activity is a quiz on the syllabus, just to make sure that you have taken a look at the syllabus and you can answer some important questions about course procedures accurately. Of course, these are all open quiz activities. Everybody should get full points on these things. I just want to make sure that you are referring to the syllabus appropriately. Okay, for these activities that were listed on the 23rd, I will accept those anytime. You're going to have the weekend to work on those. But starting on the 27th, these items that are listed on the 27th, I will start assessing them at 10 a.m. on the 27th. So, with the exception for these activities that are listed on the 23rd, the first day of classes, I don't expect you to have them all done at 10 o'clock in the morning. But with the exception of that, everything else listed on the syllabus, unless I give another specific time, I expect that to be done. I will start assessing it at 10 a.m. on the day that it's listed. So all these things listed from Monday, January 27th, I want you. This should be done by 10 a.m. on the 27th. When I teach a literature class as an in-person course, I depend quite a lot on in-class discussions. And in this class, 30% of your grade, it's the biggest chunk of your grade, is actually the online discussions that you have through your blogs that start by creating a blog entry that responds to an assigned reading. You'll need to demonstrate a willingness to keep up with those readings, to contribute substantially to the online discussion, and to engage independently with each other. Now, I do not promise to comment on every post that you make on your blog. I don't promise to jump in and correct you every time you misspell a character's name. Neither will I take off points every time you have a typographical error on your blog. I'm not worried about stuff like that. The blogs are mostly for yourselves and for each other. They're not really places where you perform for my benefit. There are other ways, other activities, the exercises and things you submit to Turnitin.com. I'm the primary audience for that. But your blogs, remember, are public, and anybody can see them, including your Aunt Tilly and future employers. So don't put anything in your blog that you wouldn't want outsiders to see. Having said that, we'll start with a peer introduction activity that exists only on Canvas, and that's a place where it's kind of our gated private community that other people can't see. So we'll get started on that. That will be due on Monday, unless for some reason I have a problem getting into Canvas, in which case I'll post an update. Okay. Using the login procedure that will have been covered in the tools walkthrough exercise, for Monday morning, I'm asking you to respond to chapters 1 and 2 of Foster. They're very short chapters, and they're written so they're very easy to read and easy to follow along. My students generally tell me they really like Foster's book because it's not written like a typical textbook. It's very breezy and easy to follow. This passage goes through a little bit more detail explaining exactly what it is I'm looking for on your blogs. I'm not going to go through that right now because I think by the time you've completed the tools walkthrough activity and set up your university blog and respond to the first couple entries, this stuff will make a little bit more sense. Okay, so our biggest reading activity on Monday is this one-act play called Trifles, and the full text for that play is available online. But I'm first asking you to read this supporting material, and then here are 2 video clips that show 2 different scenes from the same play, and that will illustrate a couple points that I want you to get. Again, I'm not going to spend this video time repeating information that you can read on your own, but I do want to walk through this. And once you have done that preparation, then I'm asking you to read the full text of Trifles, the one-act play, which, do we have that on here? Did I not even link to Trifles? No, there we go. There it is right there. Read the full text of the one-act play, Trifles. Okay? So that's what I'm going to ask you to do. And because this is marked Respond, you'll see this link over here that says Sign In. And once you've watched that video introduction to WordPress, you'll know what this means, and I think it'll be pretty clear. I'm not necessarily asking you to quote a response from all these supporting materials, But if in your response to Trifles you want to work in something from another source, that's fine with me. But for this item, I am asking you to quote from and respond to this particular short story. Again, I believe this will make a lot of sense, make much more sense once you watch that tools walkthrough video and introduce yourself to WordPress. Okay, so we've gone through the assignments that are due for the 23rd, which again I'm giving you the weekend to work on that. Assignments for the 27th, I'll start assessing those at 10 in the morning on the 27th. I'm going to let you click on January 30th and take a look at what the assignments are that I will start assessing at 10 a.m. on January 30th. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me, again, by any of the methods that are listed here in the syllabus. And that concludes the introduction, welcoming you to American Literature 1915 to the present, EL267 at Seton University. Until next time, I wish you happy reading, and I'll see you soon. Bye.